looks like we are recording. First off, I want to thank you so much. This quarantine period has got me, I need human interaction. So for you to take the time, and I'm a huge fan, by the way. Yeah, I'm a huge fan, by the way. So I appreciate you taking the time to talk to me. And
we love you, Brandon.
I really appreciate it. So, you know, first off, I want to ask, this has been on my mind. I've been watching your videos for a while, and I see the consistency of you headed out to the park. What is the longest, before now, what is the longest period of time that you've spent in, say, the last 5, maybe 10 years away from the park?
I would say a week and a half because I had the flu or I was sick with something.
Yeah.
But it didn't feel that bad because I knew it was there. You know, where this, I know it's not there.
Yeah.
To go back to right now. So it's much harder now. I mean, you know, and it's only, has it been 3 weeks? I don't even know. How long has it been?
There's no way to keep time in quarantine. There's absolutely no way.
I don't even know if today's Monday or Tuesday.
My wife's going to, exactly. My wife's going to come in and she's going to see these scratches on the walls of like days. That's what it feels like. It does feel like that. And
I have good days and bad days. Right now I'm smiling and I know I'm here with you, but I've been down like more than I should be.
So you were at one point you lived up north for a while.
Long Island, yeah.
Long Island. So I was living on upstate New York. I lived in Western New York for years. Okay. So does it not? Do you see any resemblance or any type of? It feels a little bit like winter. You know, like you remember like winter where we couldn't leave the house, and you know.
I do.
Depression's on the rise and all that.
I absolutely feel that, and it's true. I was saying the other day, if I didn't know it was 90 degrees outside, I feel like there's a storm out, and that's why I can't go out. You know, I open the door to get a package, I spray it with Lysol, and that's it. It's weird.
Yeah. It is very strange. I actually just had a friend who texted me just a little bit ago. This is the first time. Today is the first day he was allowed into the park because he works for the parks, and he works on the attractions and whatnot and planning out all that stuff. And he said he just stepped in there for the first time. He's like, it is just eerie in there. Have you seen any photos, shots from?
I have, and I'm telling those people, stop it. I don't want to see, complete empty, unless if like the castle, if I know that it's being painted and it's getting ready for me, then I'm happy. But I don't like those empty, tumbleweed going through.
Yeah. It's weird, right?
It's very weird. You know, I thought about, even at night, do the rides actually close? Like, does the Haunted Mansion, most of the stuff is still going, I think, or the lights are on and people are in there. Now it's just nothing.
Yeah.
The fact that it's a small world, nobody's singing.
Yeah. It's goofy. And, I'm a big fan of Small World. So, I mean, it's goofy to think that all this stuff is just kind of, I mean, it's got to be eerie for the people who are stepping in there.
I think for me, and maybe for a lot of people, it was a coping mechanism for just life. Yeah. It was a great escape, and I used it a lot. I'm obsessed with that escape.
Yeah.
And now I have a reason to escape more than ever. Watching TV and the deaths and the thinking about, your dad and older people and even yourself getting scared. And now you don't have that coping mechanism. So it's different if you don't have it, but yet you're happy. You won lotto. All right, you can't go to Disney this week. This is the opposite. This is you need it and you can't get to it.
Speaking of coping mechanisms, you were doing something that I was so impressed with at the beginning of this whole thing. And I think it was such a huge deal. You put together like these videos of, some of them were kind of, bygone attractions or parades that had taken place or whatnot. And you put it up there.
Oh, I'm still doing them.
For people live.
Tonight,
oh, you have one tonight?
I think tonight we're doing American Adventure, I think.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, listen, and that's a really good multi-angle PANDAVISION video.
Yeah.
But yeah, the quarantine parties, I just thought, all right, this is a way to, you're recycling old material videos that you had, but you're chatting live with people while you're watching it.
Yeah.
And I come on and talk about how I made the video a little bit, because most of these videos have a story behind, I sat there, I sat here, somebody yelled at me here and told me don't videotape. Yeah. So I try to put together the story that I kind of remember.
I'll admit to you, huge Main Street Electrical Parade fan. Like,
best.
There's not I will say this, I experience a lot of Disney, and it doesn't mean that I love everything Disney.
I agree with that.
there's not a parade for me. There's not a parade that holds anything to Main Street Electrical. Like I don't have one that I can even like say that I enjoy nearly as much as Main Street Electrical. Main Street Electrical.
Spectrum Magic, no.
I still less nostalgia, more fear for the guys riding around on top of the balls.
Okay, here's a weird thing with me. I grew up with Main Street Electrical Parade. I sat on the curb for the Main Street Electrical Parade. I mean, it's ingrained in me as the parade of all parades. I didn't like when they updated the music. They said it's coming back, the Main Street Electrical Parade, but the music is slightly different.
I heard a lot of complaints.
I like the old Baroque down better than this one. Okay, Spectro Magic, for some reason, even though it's not the one I grew up with, it's the one that I saw maybe, I don't know, it might have been 18 or something.
Yeah.
It still holds that nostalgic feeling for me. And those creepy guys on the balls that go, they done that Spectro Magic. And I have no idea what they're saying.
Yeah.
I like them. There's something about the mysterious voices that I think they're saying happy things to me.
Yeah. Let me say one positive thing, because I don't want to receive Spectro Magic hate, right? Let me say one really positive thing about it. Correct me if I'm wrong. Roger Rabbit made an appearance in it.
He did. Yes. I'm forgetting where. I want to say it was with the instruments with Goofy.
I think eventually got replaced by maybe like the genie or something like that. But yeah, I believe.
Yep, the genie definitely then became part of it. Yeah.
So I believe when I was a kid, Roger Rabbit was in it, and I'll take Roger Rabbit wherever I can get him.
Do you remember the Roger Rabbit 25th anniversary parade?
Yep.
And his big balloon?
Yep. Matter of fact, I have the McDonald's toy of the balloon.
Do you really?
I wonder if you have any commentary on Disney's response so far. Like, how do you feel about how they've done in this pandemic?
I don't know that there's anything they could do that would not be criticized. They give you pay up until this date. They furlough you this. So I'm saying they did it as good as they possibly could. Yeah, I do think they're going to have to hire all these people back. I think it's still a business. We have to recognize they have to protect themselves in some way. They are definitely losing money. I mean, you're not just not making money, you're also losing it. So you got a double thing going on. Do they have money to weather the storm? Yeah, but they also have to come out into a position where they can keep going. It's a lot of infrastructure there that's just being supported with nothing. Electric, building. They still have to be air conditioned, heated, and cleaned. And I thought about those kitchens. Like when they close a restaurant, you don't just shut the lights off.
No.
All that food has to be, which was very nice. They donated it to Second Harvest.
Yeah.
But then those kitchens have to be maintained so that when it's time to turn back on, all the oil has to be drained. There's so many facets of closing down, something that wasn't meant to ever be closed down.
Yeah, I was thinking about all the animals in Animal Kingdom. I mean,
that still has to be taken care of.
Yeah.
I wonder if the animals get like, where's the people?
Yeah.
The gorillas would interact with me on the bridge. And, I just wonder, I feel bad. Do the mosquitoes have less people to bite? I'm kidding, but there's a lot going on that's different,
Yeah. It's very interesting. Good and bad. Well, how do you see this changing the parks moving forward?
The only good thing that could come out of this is it's been so crowded that, wow, can we get on Rise of the Resistance one day without saying this? That's the good of it. The bad of it is, I don't know how long something like Epcot is going to take to reopen. You can't just call up France and say, send us some French people for the pavilion, please.
Right.
You have to train and hire and fly those people. And so that tells me Epcot is 6 months away from opening, maybe. I'm total guessing, But you can't just, so maybe it'll open up in stage. Maybe today will be just Future World attractions are open. And 2 pavilions.
I never thought about it. That's interesting.
Maybe they will limit the amount of people in a park, which I still don't understand, because if you're not 6 feet away from everybody, how's that going to go? Maybe they'll give us big dresses to wear that are just 6 feet around and
germ ponchos.
Exactly.
Ponchos. I mean, we laugh about this stuff, but it is. I mean, it's going to change. Not just. I don't mean that we talk about theme parks because that's what we know, but just our world and as a whole. I mean, it's
In general, yeah. Listen, until there's a vaccine, I'm scared to go out now.
Yeah.
And touch and touch everything. And could you imagine if I told you a month and a half ago Walt Disney World was going to close?
No.
I would have said you're crazy.
Of course, I wouldn't have believed that.
Not at all. For how long? For more than 2 days? No. 1 day, maybe. It's like it's just. It's amazing what's normal now.
Everyone's wondering, what's the first ride going to be for Panda? What's the first park that Panda's going to go to when this is all over?
I honestly think it's going to be really emotional for me, like seriously. And I think I'm going to absolutely bring some Purell. The Orlando Sentinel asked me this question, and this is what I said, and I'm serious. I'm going to put some Purell on the castle, like the wall inside, and I'm going to kiss the castle. Then I'm going straight to the Haunted Mansion. I have to just sit on that ride.
Well, sir, I'm guessing that you are a Haunted Mansion fan.
Freak.
Is it your
There's a story. There's a quick story behind. Do you want the quick story? I'm 5 years old, Magic Kingdom, first time with my father and my brother, who is 9 years older than me.
Yeah.
They're looking for the Haunted Mansion. I don't want to go. It sounds scary. I'm 5 years old, crying hysterical when I hear the howls from it. My brother and father want to go on. I don't want to go on. At the time, it wasn't one ticket got you on everything. They had to buy tickets, for you to go on the Haunted Mansion. That was an e-ticket attraction. It might have been $2 a person, $3 a person.
Right.
So my father bought 3 tickets, and I'm crying. My dad is big like me, but a foot taller. So a little chubbier, a foot taller, big Italian guy, and he never hit us. But if he went like this, you knew, oh, Dad's mad, So yeah, it's weird because I've always felt threatened by him, his anger, but he never did hit us.
Yeah.
But when I cried and said, I'm not going, I can't do it, it's a scary thing. He got down to me, he looked at me, he said, there's one thing you got to be scared of in this world, and that's me, not this house. And I got really scared of him, so I went on it, and I loved it. Like, it was the best thing that's ever happened. I thought this was great. So then I had to go on again and again and again. And I recall my father saying, I'm going to go broke because he likes this thing now, because he had to keep buying those tickets.
Yeah.
So then I got home. I didn't go back to Disney for 10 years. Haunted Mansion is like always the most amazing thing.
Haunted Mansion, all-time favorite ride. I think it's the perfectly quintessential Disney attraction. I think the only maybe competitor is Pirates. And I think out of the two, Haunted Mansion had much better refurbs. The refurbs were much better for Haunted Mansion. So I think it's just a perfect attraction. I cannot get enough information about the Haunted Mansion. I'm constantly digesting. We went to D23 this year, and we went to see the Mark Davis panel with Pete Docter. They introduced us to his character. I became fascinated with. Have you heard of the Squeaky Door Ghost?
No.
So this is a character. I will send you the link to. I did a little video on it because I just was so fascinated with it. Squeaky Door Ghost was a ghost that never actually made it into the attraction. However, Pete Docter, when they were doing the research on Mark Davis, found some photos, illustrations, number one, but actual photos of marquettes that were being built for the Squeaky Door Ghost. And it was supposed to be a ghost that was placed into the hallway scene with all the different doors. And this was a ghost who, it was, I would say, kind of like traditional ghostly specter, kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of organic shaped ghost with a little French maid's headgear, French maid's little thing, who went around and instead of oiling the doors and making them not squeak, her oil would make the doors squeak. And that's why all the doors in the Haunted Mansion are squeaky.
Imagine if they added her in somewhere.
It would be cool, but I will tell you this. This is my personal thoughts on it. If you ever actually look at the Haunted Mansion, the beginning part of the attraction, because it really is the thought process of a couple different Imagineers. Mark Davis was always the one who added the comedy into it, and some of the other Imagineers wanted a straight up Haunted Mansion. They wanted something scary. So actually, if you look at the beginning part of the Haunted Mansion, it's much more scary. And it's not until you hit the graveyard scene that it becomes a little bit more fun.
I agree.
So the thought process is, and why I don't think you'll see it happen, is because to add a character like that, who is really a gag character, into that scene, the hallway scene's kind of a scary scene. It would be it would take a little bit away, you know.
Well,
But
she doesn't have to go in that hallway scene.
no, it's absolutely true. It's absolutely true. And honestly, I would love, you know, again, Orangeburg background here. I love when you see semi-obscure to completely obscure Disney characters come out of the vault, when they free these characters from the vaults and they thrive. And I love that. So I'm
My dream is for Hatbox to come to Walt Disney World.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
And, you know, now I get scared that a lot of these things that may have happened may not happen because of budget concerns. So I'm really hoping that they, you know, they're not too conservative in their spending.
Fingers crossed. I mean, my biggest thing is Epcot at this point. I want them to be able to manage some of the things they had planned.
Yeah.
You know,
I'd rather them delay stuff.
Yeah.
Rather than cut back like Mary Poppins. We don't know what it was really going to be.
I want to thank you so much.
Thank you, man.
Talking to me about this stuff. And stay tuned, everyone, because we're definitely talking Animal Crossing next.
I was really looking forward to this one. I think I pre-ordered it in February, but I knew it was coming like for a year. I was like, Animal Crossing for the Switch is coming. Animal Crossing for the Switch is coming.
Yeah.
And I was surprised how many adults like it. So it has helped me a lot. Listen, I'm embarrassed to say that I've logged in a lot of hours.